Am I going? All right, there we go. What's going on, everybody? I already see we got 9 viewers in here. It is Thursday. It's basketball time. Hopefully some of y'all are off tomorrow. Hopefully all of y'all are off tomorrow. I'm hearing some people got to work tomorrow, but hope y'all can come in, stay off the roads as much as you can, get your gas, get your snacks. Don't everybody crowd the bread out. But like I said, this is basketball day. We know we got a lot of football going on, but we appreciate y'all tuning in, get this basketball content. You know what I'm saying, while you're here, if you're watching on Twitter, definitely go to our YouTube, go to Naj Wilkins, that's Najeh. You come on here and correct me if I'm wrong. Wilkins like Dominique, that's his cousin. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe there, and also subscribe to Bacon Network, BACON, pork, like network, like cartoon, subscribe there. And if you're on YouTube, definitely, you know what I'm saying, follow us on Twitter, man. You know what I'm saying? Arvon Bacon, same thing, Najee Wilk on Twitter, man. So I ain't gonna take too much of your time. We're gonna hop right into basketball. We got a lot of good topics today. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna segue you in, brother. But you know, it's all right. Come on back, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on. You already know how I did now,
Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm trying to let him practice, y'all. If y'all ever notice, like the hoop segment, I try to let him control and then let him just, get the opportunity to host and then bring the host in. So try to let my boy get better. That's all. Hey, it's all about the reps, man. It's all about the reps.
It's all about the reps.
Yes, sir.
You build on the pump fake.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Got a little pump fake. I was trying to have you this, you know what I'm saying?
You had the left. You just had to rim with the left.
Yeah. Gotta be ambidextrous. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be ambidextrous for sure. 100%. So, man, you told me you had to run some errands today. You sound like, would you go shovel off a driveway or something, man?
Nah, man, just had to do, some quick things. Hit the store, man. Obviously, you guys know, like, the weather's going to be pretty bad from what they say. So, had to pick up some little extra extremities, man, some toilet paper, some things you need for the crib, a quick cleanup. Because, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how bad it's going to be where I'm at, in Hampton. Yeah. So, I had to go get that stuff real quick. And then obviously make it home and, in time to do the show.
Nah, for sure. I did the same thing. I went and got some gas. I went and got some fruit, you know what I'm saying, for my smoothies. Got some popcorns. I like to eat on the Skinny Pop. That's my guilty pleasure right now, the Skinny Pop. But you know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, you got to get those amenities. Blitz the bread out, man. You know what I'm saying? At your own risk. But bro, got basketball on the leisure, man. We're gonna hit them over the head quick, man. Today, first topic, we're gonna be talking about the FSU scandal, man. If you haven't heard about it, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of crazy. I believe I'm not sure if the coach is still there. I mean, he probably is. But last year, this is really, really big on last year's Florida State's team. This is I'm reading off On3 right now. 6 Florida State players are suing Coach Leonard Hamilton of unpaid NIL cash. This is per Pete Nakos. The 6 players, plaintiffs, if you're talking in legality terms, Darren Green Jr., Josh Nickelberry, Primo Spears, just adds in my way, Cameron Fletcher, and Dante Green, and Jalen Warley. I believe, let's see, there's only 2 players out of that group who have remaining eligibility. I believe the 4th are out of eligibility and they have moved on. But the coach promised them each $250,000 of NIL money. It came down and got so bad that the players pretty much built a mutiny. It was like, coach, you know what I'm saying, if you're not going to compensate these guys, you know what I'm saying, we're not going to come to practice. I believe they left in the middle of practice. I believe this was the week of the Duke game last year. So it's carried on. It just now came out in that game against Duke. They lost by 10, 76-67. Lost by 11. Lost by 9. Yeah, they won. 76. Simple math. 76-67. They definitely won by 9. Lost by 9. Excuse me. So that's big news, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, what will lead a coach to, you know what I'm saying, lie to players just to get them there to come, especially when you don't have the money. I'm sure he probably thought he was going to get the money because it was through the article is saying that they were going to get that money through his business partners or business relations that he had. So, Coach, I don't know why you do that to your players, or, you know what I'm saying, I don't know what happened between your partners. But brother, I'm going to throw the floor to you, man. What do you think happened here, man?
Yeah, I think it's similar to what you said. Maybe, he thought he was going to get some funds coming from maybe a business partner or something, and maybe it fell through. And when you had these kind of things, Mickey, you just got to be as transparent as possible. You got to let the players know, and you just can't, like, we live in a day and age, you can't promise something and not deliver on your promise. You're gonna get called out for it, and now with the internet and everything, you can get exposed for it. So it's not a good look, and I think this is why you need a team dedicated to this. Whatever you want to say, we saw what Coach Belichick is doing with football, and obviously bringing on Lombardi on with him to be kind of that CEO GM type of thing to handle the stuff that that he doesn't necessarily want to handle. So when you think about these kind of things, sometimes you need to develop a team that's dedicated to, okay, hey, I need somebody that's going to do my financials, somebody's going to do the contracts. Okay, if I'm going to bring you here for this $250,000 or this $100,000, I'm going to make sure that I do everything I need to do, and then at the same time, obviously we hold this coach accountable. We got to hold the players accountable too to complete everything you need to complete in order to get the money as well. So it's a two-way street. I mean, it's something you see with professional basketball. It's just now on a collegiate level. Like both sides, like, when it comes to a player, you're going to have to make sure that you got, an agent or somebody that can negotiate for you, a trusted business partner that can do the hard work for you. And then if you are a coach, essentially what you're going to have to do is make sure you got a team that's dedicated to this. So stuff like this doesn't happen. Sometimes things fall through the cracks, but I say the best thing is try to have a team set up, financial people, for this team. And they should be able to do that. Like, this is a university, so they got the resources in order to allocate. And it's not like it's, we only make money from football. No, you make money from all over. You make money from the basketball program. They do well. You get incentives. You make ACC tournament. You get, incentives. There's so many ways you can make money. TV deals, right. TV revenue. So I just think now going forward, colleges, need to have these players sign certain contracts, right? And the players, they need to have agents or whatever, trusted business partner. And then these schools just need to have a team in place to make sure this doesn't happen.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. And I thought it was different on the college level. I always knew that high school head coaches they do a lot of, even down to the concession stand, most of them. So, but college, it's not a good look for Florida State. That the whole basketball program may trickle down into other areas. Will he see jail time off this? I don't know. Will he be sued? Maybe. Potentially, yeah. I'm saying we'll keep tabs on this story. Keep y'all tuned in. That's why y'all tune in every Thursday. We'll give y'all a rundown. Keep a close eye on this. But that's all we got on this subject. So we're gonna move on to another hot topic in the basketball world. Brandon Jennings. You pulling up the clip? Or you want me to pull it up?
I'll let you pull it up.
All right, for sure. Brandon Jennings was called out by Jason Tatum's trainer, Mr. B, after he called Jason Tatum the softest superstar in history. So let me get my screen share. I want to get that ad out of the way. No free promo over here, fool. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna play this.
While I'm on my rant, hey, Jason Tatum's trainer.
Jason Tatum.
He had an issue with me saying that Jason Tatum was one of the softest Boston Celtics superstars ever.
Mr. Big Time.
Oh shit! Since you're his trainer, make sure he gets Finals MVP this year.
Ooh.
And I heard you wrote a book talking about, like, stop the bullshit. I'm gonna write part 2 if he don't get it.
Well, there we go. I'm saying typically try to keep it clean. I know some people don't care. I'm not sure about all the analytics behind our viewers. So I'll stop it right there. Y'all pretty much get the gist of it. Even came down to, they went in the argument. This is on Gail Serena podcast. It came down to, even questioning if it was top 5 Celtics all time. It was like, yeah, Nick Young said, yeah, 5 years down the line, when he gets done, he'll probably be top 5 Celtic all time. I had to think about it. It's a possibility, but softest Celtic all time. I mean, we're just living in a softer generation of just athletes in general. I get what they're saying there. But you got to. Are you froze, brother?
No. Why? No. This is my facial reaction. Why are we talking about top 5 all time already? This kid is just getting. He's only in the 7th season.
As a Celtic, though.
Even as a Celtic, why are we bringing it up? Like, why is that a topic of discussion? Is my thing. You know what I'm saying? His career ain't even played. He ain't even 10 years in the league yet, and we're talking about top 5 all time. You know what I'm saying? It's way too early to be talking about that, bro. Let the man course his career finish out. All right, to address that point. The second point, look, Brandon Jennings was a good player in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking nothing away from him, but it seems it's coming off a little bit of hate. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of envy to me. You know what I'm saying? Of how he's coming off. Now, you can feel how you feel about Jason Tatum. I've thought in some situations, man, I want to see him go punch on somebody. I want to see him, go be more aggressive. And when I say that, I'm not talking about regular season. Like, this strictly applies to the playoffs with Jason Tatum, right? I want to see you be that dude. Now, I'm not saying he has not. I'm talking about specifically in the finals. He struggled a little bit in that category. Turned it on this past finals in the games after 3, 4, 5, and 6, and whatever it was. But I think there's a lot of hate. Obviously, you're right, Bacon. To your point, is a softer generation compared to what we've seen before. I don't disagree. But what has Jason Tatum showed that makes him necessarily soft? Right? Has he came out and called somebody out? Has he, acted a certain way with media, asked some questions? Everything I've seen, he's carried himself as a consummate pro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing him miss time. He's at practice every day. He's playing all 82 games. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, unless he's injured, he's not taking time off. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're going to be honest, Jason Tatum is one of the most dedicated stars in the NBA, right? Now, I'm not saying he's the NBA brand, but when we look at everything, what trouble has he been in? None. All we see is Deuce. Him and Deuce and his family and his mom and everybody else. Like, that's it. That's the biggest knock on Tatum. So, like, what are we – my thing is to you, Bacon, and you correct me if I'm wrong. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? What's the purpose of calling them out for? You know what I'm saying? Is it something that you don't like that he does? How he carry himself? Like, I'm not understanding. He doesn't cheat the game. That's what I was looking for. He doesn't cheat the game. Talked about the all 82 that he plays. And when he can't play, it's 1 or 2 games. He's not sitting out for freaking weeks. So, to me, it just comes off as hate. That's just my thoughts. But what do you think?
Nah, I mean, those are valid points. Those are valid points. Reflecting on what you just said, he's one of those superstars that are consistently there on, I'm saying, back-to-backs, weekly, night in, night outs, averaging almost 30 points a game. You know what I'm saying? His only black eye is when he didn't get the Finals MVP, and you know what I'm saying, had some moments where I think, he shoots the ball, from the deep too much, but that's everybody in the NBA. So I agree, bro.
Right. And think about this real quick. When we talk about the finals, and people did it with Curry too. I know you remember this, Bacon, because Curry, he ain't won an NBA Finals. He ain't won an NBA Finals MVP. Okay, y'all know how long it took Curry to win one? Took him a minute. He just won one, I think, in 2022. You know what I'm saying? Been in the league 13 plus years. So to me, like, Bacon, like, why is that the standard? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing wrong. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a Finals MVP. Yeah, that's cool. That's great. But it's still early in his career. You know what I'm saying? Now we get into the latter end. Why you don't have one? Like, if Jaylen Brown's consistently winning them, okay, cool. I get what y'all saying. Not far as the soft part. I disagree. But, like, okay, hey, maybe we should be talking about him not winning Finals MVP more. But at the same time, like I say, don't cheat the game. And look how long it takes some of the stars to win it. Kobe didn't win one for a while. Remember, Shaq was dominating and winning. So, like, bro, what are we doing? That's all I'm saying, bro. I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying, though, like, what are we doing, bro?
Nah, for sure. Brandon Jennings, one of the most decorated high school basketball players. Obviously, he came out and said he wish he would have took his time in the NBA more serious, even coming out of high school when he went over to play overseas, taking the unconventional route, which I commend him for. Definitely opened up the doors for guys like LiAngelo Ball, Melo Ball, and many others. So kudos to him for that. But you definitely can maybe some envious, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know the relationship. I didn't really watch the whole podcast, but he was pretty passionate, as you can see when you watch the clip. So I mean, that's just, that NBA brotherhood or whatever. But shout out to Gil his podcast for allowing that to happen, and it was his birthday that day. That's why the festivities is out and about. But moving on to the third topic of the night. This is another banger, the Cleveland Cavaliers. A lot of people came out at the beginning of the year, and myself included. I was like, man, this 12-0 streak, man, we've seen this before. Can they sustain this? And honestly, they've been playing well. I think they're 10-0 in the last 10 games. Very impressive. But I think when it gets to the postseason, I think it's back to square one. But I'm going to play this clip by Stephen A. Smith. He's convinced that the Cleveland Cavaliers, they are legit. So I'm going to timestamp this, get on my timestamp, and we're going to play this for the viewers. All right. Share screen. Boom. All right. It's on you, G.
I'm I'm going as far as to say this, which is damn near sacrilegious. Okay. Right now, until I see further notice from the New York Knicks, all season long, I was thinking about Knicks, Boston. Nah, if I'm going to be an objective viewer, I got to look at the Cleveland Cavaliers and say, yo, peeps, they got a chance to win the chip, to win it all.
Wendy, where are you?
Boom.
I like that Stephen A's being objective there. Like, excuse me, everybody's going with obviously Knicks in Boston. So I do want to commend him for being objective and showing all parameters. I feel like media fails in that a lot. They just go after, oh, this is a powerhouse program or this is the best program. That team doesn't have a chance. So I do like that he's taking that viewpoint from it. You know what I'm saying? But I go to your point, Bacon. I need to see it in the postseason, right? The regular season is great. Don't get me wrong. We've seen it. We've seen Philly have some good teams in the regular season, right? We've seen Boston teams have some good teams in the regular season. Milwaukee. And when it came time at certain junctures over the course of their careers, came up short in the postseason. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Portland. That's another example out west. So I'm going to say I want to see it first. Now, this is a very good team. I think Darius Garland really got kind of scathed a little bit there. I think he should be an all-star, but currently he is not, averaging 20.4 points per game, 6.7 assists. But I just want to see them against an elite opponent. Now, look, they beat Boston. They beat the Knicks. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying chips on the line, win or go home. This is the whatchamacallit, Bacon. This is the playoffs. I gotta see it in. But I'm gonna say they do have a shot at making some noise in the postseason. So that's how I'll kind of labor my argument a little bit. I think they do got a shot. I think Stephen A brings in some good points. We can't sneeze at them. We can't overlook them. But let's see it when it counts the most.
Nah, for sure. I think, though, a big piece that a lot of people are kind of overlooking, you know what I'm saying, is the young man, Evan Mobley. You know what I'm saying, went to USC, averaging 18 points. They got 3 players. You know what I'm saying, that's north of 18 points per game. And also they got a decent bench with 3 players, you know what I'm saying, averaging 10 points or more. You know what I'm saying? And statistically, lined up in the rebounds category, right? You know, so they got some length. They're a very balanced team, which makes them pass the eye test. Obviously, so they shoot 77% from the free throw line. That championship basketball, you want to be at 80, but 77% is nothing to sneeze at. I believe they shoot 52% from the field goal, and I think they're shooting like 37 from 3. So, you know what I'm saying? Doing those things, continue to do that. Like I said, 10-0 in the passing games. I think winning 12 out of the last 13 too. So, Barnett stayed healthy, and Donovan Mitchell, there was some question marks when he came out of Utah. Like, is he legit? Is he the real Spider-Man? Is he the next coming to D-Wade? And I think he will. I think he's going to do that. I think they're going to make some noise significantly. I am on the wagon for Cleveland, but I got to see if, you know, like you said earlier, I'm saying when it comes down to the Eastern Conference Final, that's where we're going to really see. I think they're a pencil in for the Eastern Conference Finals for sure. Unless they run into Boston or something like that, I personally know.
Great points, man. Agree with you 100%. Love it, like the way you articulated your argument.
Man, thank you, brother. It's the reps. I'm getting my free throws in right now. We are on the Dust Sizzling News podcast, by the way. We will be rebranded and pivoted, you know what I'm saying, though some would say.
It might be the Sizzling News podcast.
Ooh, the Sizzling News podcast.
You know what I'm saying? Sizzling got to do with Bacon, obviously, because Bacon would come off as sizzling. And then we give you the top news, man. Nobody else has the intel, the insight.
Intel, insight,
you know
and the lowdown. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? That might be the name.
For sure, man. All right, we're going to segue into a lighter-hearted topic, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows the South Carolina Gamecocks. And by now, if you haven't heard, you know what I'm saying, Jello LiAngelo Ball has released a new song. It's been setting the streets on fire, man. And, you know what I'm saying? Dawn, being the cultural icon that she is, man, you know what I'm saying? She, her and the team, it's celebrate. I ain't gonna say they celebrate, but they kind of, you know what I'm saying, they got the vibe and they got the jig into the new LiAngelo, brother.
Yeah, they was giving him his flowers. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of the song. But like I said, it's like a sensation, man. I'm not gonna hate on nobody, man. Yeah, I listened to it. It was okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the biggest fan. But like I said, I'm not gonna hate on nobody that's trying to go out there and be great. I know he recently dropped like 52 in the pro-am circuit too. Yep. So I want to give him a shout out there, man. But nah, man. I mean, I think it's great. It goes back to your point with Coach Dawn Staley, man. Whatever is popping, you know, she does a really good job of being culturally aware and being culturally just in the times, and that's why she resonates with her players so much, because she just knows how to hit a certain nerve or how to really get across to them, man. So I want to commend her for that because she could be that kind of hard-nosed coach. She could be, keyword, could be that hard-nosed coach. Like, nah, I don't want you guys listening to that. This is how we do things. But she's very open, and that's why players gravitate towards her. And they know more times than not, if they go there and they put in the hard work and they buy into the road, they can potentially make a name for themselves and even potentially make the league. So I want to give her a shout out for that, man. But nah, man, happy for LiAngelo. Hey, man, as you can see, there's multiple ways you can make money. So,
there's many ways to get bad. What you broke for? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, he hooping still, but he got something viral now. His brother's also, I think, on there as well. I think he was the lyricist on there as well. He put LaMelo on there. So I love that too, man. All three of them brothers, and they supporting each other too. So this is a great site, man.
Definitely, brother. Definitely. Well, I'm passing the ball to you, man. You know what I'm saying? You were at Grayson's New Year's Classics, man. So the floor is yours, brother. What did you see? What did you like? What did you not like? And what was the vibe in the building?
Yeah, man, I actually was not able to go. I would have been posting a little bit more. I had some stuff come up, man, some family stuff. So I was not able to go, but I did watch some stuff on SUV TV. I do want to give a shout out to Grayson for beating McEachern. I think a really good basketball team and won by 8. So I did watch that one at home. They didn't even have Caleb Holt, bro. That was probably the most impressive part. Like they went in this game against McEachern and obviously Archer, and they didn't even have some of their best players, but bonded together as a team and got a really good victory against, I think, a possible contender in 6A, to be honest with you, Bacon. So I was really thoroughly impressed with that. Mansour McLean for Wheeler. He had a big-time performance, man. Went off for like 30-plus points, 7 threes. I'm telling you, man, Wheeler is deep, bro. Anything I say about Wheeler, they got so many players, man. Colbin Landrews, a 4-star type player. Obviously, Coda Soto, Kevin Savage, Tyler Jordan. They can just come at you in a moxie of ways, man. And they got a phenomenal coach in Coach Larry Thompson. So I was impressed with that performance, man. And it didn't come from like the guys we usually say, like the Colbin Landrews and the Coda Sotos and Kevin Savage. It came from a guy that put everybody on notice with how elite he is. So that was another standout as well. And then Pace Academy, man, just doing anything against South Gwinnett. South Gwinnett's a great team. Another game I ended up watching. They came back and forth up. They was pushing tempo and pace, man, but Eric Chatfield, man, he just slows that pace down and then he can speed it up. His deceleration and acceleration is just phenomenal. Hike gets up and down the court, finished with a game high 26 points, man. And that team is for real, man. Got Chandler Bing and Coach Sharman White does a phenomenal job with that group, making sure that they're ready to go every single game, man. And they got some young thoroughbreds in there too, Breland Crab, Bentley Luiscano. And like I said, I think he's one of the best coaches, man, in the state, man. So I was impressed with those. Like I said, I was not able to go, but I did watch, man. So I had to make sure I was ready for when this topic came up.
Nah, no doubt. I'm looking at Grayson's page right now, and they definitely highlighted a couple more hoopers. Micah Goodlow dropped 17 points in the win for Alexander over Pebblebrook, who defeated Oak Ridge not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. Cyree Brown, 11 points. So, definitely want to shout those guys out. Jalen Humphrey for the Falcons, 19 points. Tough bucket, tough loss there, but you can't win them all. We're also building for March, right? Shout out to Coach Washington and the Pebblebrook program. Shout out a couple more players out before we segue on, man. McLean is all over this page. Dwayne Lawton for the Comets.
Malik Rideout's another one for Peachtree Ridge.
Yeah, Malik Rideout. Yeah, that's Cameron Sanders, the Trojans. You know what I mean? Did you talk about Christian Curl from McEachern?
I did not, but he's elite too.
For sure, man. So I gotta ask you, brother. You got the last name Wilkins. What was your thoughts of Jacob's game? I know you watched the live stream.
Yeah, I mean, he's impressive, bro. I mean, he could do I think he's going to be a great addition to UGA. It's going to be interesting to see the turnover of their roster after next year. Does Newell stay another year, continue to add to his game, or will he hit the league? But he's just one of those guys. I think it's going to be plug and play, man. I mean, his athleticism, we've seen him back in the summer AAU circuit as well. How he can get to the rim, how he can finish through contact. I think his jumper is getting better and better. Yes. He just looks very comfortable. He's a great two-way player that he don't get enough credit for that. And I think Jacobs just got better and better, man. And you could just tell, he's brewing with confidence, man. He recently just cut his hair. He obviously had the dreads, but he got the little short fro, skinny fro now, man. They're going to be tough to stop because you got Caleb on one point. If he gets too many, double teams, whatever it is, you can throw it down low to him. He got a good low post game. You got Amir Taylor. You got guards that can stretch out and shoot the ball. Grayson's going to be a tough out, man. And it starts with obviously Jacob Wilkins and Caleb Hope.
Nah, you're right. Yeah, definitely. I also say his passing too is where really catches me. He's throwing it a little wild right now, kind of one arm, you know what I'm saying? But it's accurate, and you gotta take that into account. It's accurate passes. But I'm definitely say this, not afraid of the smoke, man. There's a team like Wheeler. I didn't see them in the Keatron game, so I can't speak. But you got a team like Wheeler who's long, who can play. And they play basketball. They're not just trying to run in transition. They got the athletes to do it, but they play in half court set. If you could play Grayson in the half court set, you know what I'm saying, shoot efficiently, get easy baskets, and make them work on the defensive end, and kind of slow down the transition basketball. They're a beatable team. And I think anybody who knows the game of basketball can definitely see that. But no, that's no shade to Grayson. I'm just keeping it real. But transitioning on. Man, we gotta show some love, man, where credit is due before I get to Gainesville and Milton. You know what I'm saying? Devin Hutchinson and Caleb Wilson. Devin Hutchinson entered the 1,000-point club at Holy Innocents after a big win over Carver Atlanta, 83-53. And also Caleb Wilson, the all-time leading scorer at the school with 1,500 points with a lot more games to go, man. So he's going to blow that record out of the waters. But, you know what I'm saying, obviously, Caleb gets a lot of love. We'll give him some more flowers, but time run out for Devin Hutchinson, man. I've been watching him since I think he was an 8th grader at the Kyle Sandy Showcase. This was like this might have been 2021, 2022, somewhere around in there, probably 2022. And just always been gifted, athletically gifted, you know what I'm saying, been able to shoot. I believe he's a left-handed guard, right? Let's say he's left-handed right now. He might be right-handed. Let's say he's left-handed for the time being. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't been able to finish. But I think what it is right now, what we're seeing in him, why, you know what I'm saying, this has been a big year for him. Games is kind of slowing down for him, right? The confidence is catching back up, you know what I'm saying, to where it was when he was 8th grade and just dominating the other 8th graders and the lower classmen. It's just slowing down for him. He's taking good shots. You know what I'm saying, obviously athletic, you know what I'm saying, rebounding, seeing those rhythm buckets go in for him. And this is just product of what he's done. You know what I'm saying? He was going to get to 1,000 points. We all know how talented he is. But the matter of fact that it's slowing down for him, I think, you know what I'm saying, the kid is special, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. You can see him, the maturation of his game, right? That was one of the big things we said last year. You know, and when we seen Holly Innocents against North Oconee, and it was like, okay, outside of Caleb and Devin, who's going to be those guys? And we seeing this year Devin kind of taking not just scoring role, but a leadership role along with a Caleb, right? And being able to distribute the basketball to his teammates and then knocking down shots, right? And not always having to score the basketball in order to affect the game. I think that's the biggest jump that he's taken, because now he's a pesky defender. You know what I'm saying? He's getting out in transition, setting up easy open baskets for his teammates. Like, he's getting it done in different facets of the game, and that's really what you want to see. So very special for him. It's going to get overshadowed, obviously, because Caleb Wilson is there. But make no mistake about it, man. He's been an elite player, and his game has gotten better and better every time that you've seen him.
100%. How much, like, let's see. I'll ask you this before I do my math. How many points over 1,500 you think Caleb's going to get?
Let's see. We are currently in January. Got a whole full slate of games. Got February playoffs. They're likely going to make the state championship, in my humble opinion. And that Class A, 3A private only contender I see maybe giving them a challenge could be Green Forest. No. I think Caleb could be easily upwards, close to about 2,000, close to it. You know what I'm saying? I think he can get close to it before, like, you know, his career set and done. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, make state championship, he could probably be close to that 2,000 marker.
Okay, well, state championship, I can agree to that. Yeah, so we'll book it at 2,000. That's tough, man. That is tough. There's only a handful of players, you know what I'm saying, in the states that can do that at a class. So that's tough. That just shows you how versatile he is. He hasn't really been looking to score that much this year, as we've seen at Peach Jam. You know what I mean? He can defend at a very high level.
And one more thing, I know we're going to transition. I wanted to give Kate Harper some love. Bacon, she just hit 2,000 career points as well. I don't know if you've seen that. She's rated as the #1 player in the country. Point guard, #1 player in Georgia, according to 247 Sports. She recently just crossed 2,000 points. So I want to give her a special shout out also on the show. I don't know if she'll see this, but I wanted to shout her out. Also, Bacon, I wanted to get your thoughts on this real quick before we go to Gainesville. This is going to be one I think I'm going to try to go to. a big time classic coming up. Not this weekend, obviously, with everything with the weather, but this will be actually next weekend. But I think you don't get a better slate than this in January, right? Pace Academy versus Walnut Grove. I think that is girls. Yeah, that is a girls' game. And then the rest are boys, right? Tucker's going to play against Baldwin. Decatur versus Green Forest. Good way to see Green Forest up in action. Kale Woodward Academy. Get to see Zach Foster and they crew and what they're able to do. Kale has a pretty good guy, Connor Stalferis, who can just stroke it from deep. You know what I'm saying? Pace Academy and what they can do going up against McEachern and JD Palm, who's, obviously made his return back to the hardwood. Christian Curl, Chase Lumpkin, and then Wheeler and Newton as the kind of the nightcap. That seems like a pretty good slate to me. So see what I can do, but that's going to look like some primetime hoops action. What you think, Bacon?
Nah, I agree, man. That's a full day, and that's a full day's worth. Nah, for sure. That's definitely a good one. I can't lie to you. Try to make this one right there with you, brother.
I think he cut out, y'all. Oh, you had cut out, Bacon.
What's the last thing you heard?
Basically, you said that's a full day.
Yeah, that's a full day, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna try to go to this. I'm gonna check my schedule. You know what I'm saying? See if I make sure I'm free that Saturday. But if I am, I'm gonna try to hit this.
Yeah, that just looks like prime hoops, bro.
Yeah. I said my favorite matchup's probably. I don't know, man. So many good ones. I definitely want to see Green Forest. They got a wing out there that's very talented. Pace versus McEachern game is very intriguing. The bot would really like all of it. I don't really know about the Pace girls and Walnut Grove girls or Tucker or Baldwin, but I think I've heard some buzz about Tucker for sure. So from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and I'm sure the opening, the commencement is fire too. So really from 11:30 to 7, you know what I'm saying? You got elite basketball to me.
100%. I just wanted to bring that to your attention, man. I know that wasn't in the topics, man, but just wanted to bring that to your attention, man. I thought that's an elite slate of basketball to me.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely, brother. I appreciate you bringing that to the table.
Yes,
so, like I said, we're gonna go back and spin on Gainesville versus Milton. Milton won by 10. I couldn't find any stats for Milton, not Milton, for Gainesville, but Josh Dixon, 26 points, 5 assists. Daniel Ogiemi, 16 points, 15 rebounds, double-double, 3 assists to go along with the double-double. Solomon Bratton, 9 points, 7 rebounds, and to come up in the rear, Braxton Gisler with 6 points and 4 rebounds, man. That's elite high school, man. They got that Nike banner in the gym for a reason. Well coached. Josh Dixon, you know what I'm saying? He's that cog in the machine that gets everybody going. You know what I mean? Though I will say this though. Excuse me. I'm not Grayson. Gainesville. They're a good team, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I like their guards. I like what they got. 10 points in the bad loss. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like I said, everybody's building for March. But you know what I'm saying? It's respectable loss, man. But we got to see if they can turn that corner and, you know what I'm saying, convert to some big wins. While you talk about it, I'm going to pull up Gainesville's schedule.
Yeah, I was trying to find their stats too, but I couldn't find it from that game. But just to help you out with the schedule. So they got Johns Creek coming up, Seconder, Chattahoochee, Lanier, Roswell, and then they'll play Milton again, this time at home. So I was on the road this past week, and then they'll follow up with Seconder, the last regular season game on February 7th. But yeah, man, what's scary about them? They got a phenomenal coach, man. Charlamagne Gibbons does a really good job. Shout out to him, man, for helping me out with the Court Kell basketball, getting Pitts Valley in there for them to be able to play. And they gave us a great game between them and Norcross. So shout out to obviously Coach Gibbons. But what's scary about them? They're young. Like a lot of this team, obviously, he's going through kind of the woodworks of building everything. But you go 1-2 years from now, maybe even 3, like they're gonna be a team that could potentially be, that perennial contender. And it don't feel like it now, but they still playing some really good basketball. 11-6, competing with some top end teams. Milton is one of those favorites, those front runners in 5A, and for good reason. And Daniel Ogiemi, as you mentioned, and also Josh Dixon, man, they got some dogs. And Coach Whiteheart does a phenomenal job with his group. But I'm telling you, man, Gainesville, they could be a tough out. I wouldn't be surprised to make a little run, maybe Elite Eight or Final Four. They got the makers to do that, and they got the coach to do it too, man. So I think it's just been kind of like that fill-out year. I think this is second year maybe at the helm, and now stuff is starting to kind of click into place. And these are just building blocks, man, and they're going to be a dangerous team.
Nah, for sure. Yeah, he's doing spectacular things. I think it's his first year, but doing spectacular things. Already beat Dutchtown at the beginning of the year. It was the first game of the season, but that's a 5A team that you're going to see in the playoffs, and then beat them by 14 points. That's tough. They beat Lanier too, right? Lanier's a 5A team.
Yep.
Yeah,
they are same. I think same region. Yep.
63-37. So yeah, they're definitely going to be. They're going to be there in the end, and they'll be playing 6A schools. They're going to be battle tested and know what it takes. You know what I'm saying? They're deep. That's good coaching. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on. Let's see. Talked about Grayson. Talked about Dev. Devin had 27 points, 7 rebounds in that game. Caleb Wilson with the immaculate stat line, 13 points, modest 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. You know what I'm saying? Just getting it all done on both sides of the court. 12-2 record for Holy Innocents. But another big classic or showcase, you know what I'm saying, that happened this weekend was the She Got Game Classic. Just an annual event. I think they do multi events during the year. But this one's it's moving around when it comes to weather. But this year they had it at Lake Point, Cartersville, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? A lot of elite talent, man. And you had Paul the Sixth in there. Woodward was in the building. Holy Innocents was in the building. Mount Perrin, Hebron Christian, River Ridge. You know what I'm saying? That's just a couple teams out there. Marietta. But definitely got to, when we talk about the top performers of Georgia, we definitely got to start with, you know what I'm saying, one of the probably the brightest out of the state right now, and that's Haley Swain, earning one of many. There was multiple MVPs, and she got the MVP for her performance against Woodward. She had 31 points, 5 assists. And to me, you know what I'm saying, her performance, what got the win and probably earned her the MVP was just her ability to play defense. You know what I'm saying, ability to pick the pockets of the other guards. You know what I'm saying, that's how she changed the game, and just in other ways, just to scoring. You know what I'm saying, she runs like a deer, always has a high motor, never seems to kind of get gassed out, so that gas tank is long. And to me, she just barely scratching the surface of what she can be, especially when she gets to the collegiate level. Appreciate that, G.
Yeah, sure. Is she mute?
I'm saying, finishing with the right here. This is brought to us by Ballers Ridge. You know what I'm saying? There's a steal right there. Head's always up, man. Little Euro step, little side step with the right again. Stanford was in the building. LSU was in the building. Duke was in the building. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's still on this trail. I believe she's still committed. She's still committed for sure. Little crossover. Yeah. We'll do one more, and we'll segue on to the next athlete. Boom. All right. Would you like to add anything to that, brother, before I slide on?
Yeah, man. Like you said, she had a big game, 31 points, 5 assists. What I really liked about it, she has a smooth game and a nice handle. You know, can get easily to the cup. Really good playmaker, and I like defensively. She's a pest. She's always actively engaged in making plays.
100%. Definitely somebody to keep up with as she moves on to the next level. Definitely want to shout out Nakai Everett, you know what I'm saying, class of 2028 forward. I'm saying for the Holy Innocents Bears. Definitely want to shout her out real quick. A little blurb from Kai Sandy about her. He said, been impressed with how well the 6'2" freshman Nakai has rebounded today. Nimble-footed forward who's active inside with her quick second leap. Big time skill set inside and out. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Nakai, man. She's definitely one of the ones. She could be that one to take the crown. You know what I'm saying? Once Haley departs. All right. We're gonna segue into Danielle Osho. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. We're gonna see her highlights. But you know what I'm saying, since Arbery's went down, man, she and it's definitely others, but you know, she's easily probably been the toughest guard for Hebron, man. This, you know what I'm saying, being able to, you know, with her size, being able to move smaller girls out of the way, as you can see, just very skilled, able to pass at the top of the key inside the paint. You know what I mean? always looking to pass, but she can burn you from outside, as we'll see here in just a minute. We'll let it go back. We'll let it come back. She was burning some eyelids off. Little floater. There it is. The real versatile, committed to Miami. All right, let's go to my fact sheets real quick. All right, yeah, she's committed to Miami. 2025. Just elite, man. I just like her game, man. You know what I'm saying? She's, for her size, real nimble off the dribble. Like I said, always keeps her head up, man. What you got?
Yeah, no, 100%. I like a low post game. I think that's an underrated part. Makes really tough buckets, tough to stop her in the low block, as you said. Not only just a scorer, but also a passer that can set up outside shots for her teammates. And doing a great job. Nobody's talking about it, but they've had to pick up the slack with Aubrey Beckham obviously tearing her ACL and being out for the year. So they haven't missed a beat. And I think we on a collision course to see St. Francis go up against Hebron Christian in the state championship game. And you can sign me up for that. I don't know if you know about St. Francis. They're out in Alpharetta, coached by Aisha Kennedy. They got a phenomenal group, man. They can score. Gianni Rogers and the inside Amelia Bassett. They got some girls that can hoop. You talk about high-level hoops. Like, you think, like, you watch the South Carolina play. Like, 2 elite teams. I hope we able to get that. It's unfortunate it probably won't be on TV, man, but hopefully somebody will stream it. But, yeah, man, I think Hebron's doing a great job. Shout out to Coach Asar. I think one of the winningest coaches might be in here in the state of Georgia. She does a great job.
Definitely. Definitely want to get out there to see them. Or, you know what I'm saying, and as the playoffs come down. But I you know what I'm saying, St. Francis has always had a great basketball program. But we're getting ready to look at McKinley Brothers of Mount Perrin. She did her thing against Booker T. Washington out of Florida. So we're gonna take her clips and break down her game. All right. Back it up. Absorb the contact there real well. Nice shot. Nice smooth motion. She got a floater here that's really – no, that was it. That was it. Really high off the glass. That was nice. Really like that right there. I bet that slept on. What you see a lot of defenders do, you know what I'm saying, makes the layup, you know what I'm saying, turns right back around looking for the steal. That's big to me. Like I said, you see a lot of people do it, but that's really slept on. You know what I'm saying, always keeping the pressure on the inbounder. Those are quick, easy points. That's definitely how you teach it. But like I said, nice touch around the rim. Didn't see a lot of jumpers from outside, but you can see the potential there with the smooth shot. So definitely liked her game and wanted to shout her out. So that is McKinley Brothers of Mount Perrin Christian.
Yeah, I think she has a good tempo for a guard, very explosive. I know it's hard to see there on that clip, obviously kind of being distorted just a little bit, obviously maybe with my internet connection. But if you go back and watch the clip, I mean, very explosive, get anywhere on the floor. And I like too how like some of it, like she would just take it out. Like if it wasn't there, she wasn't forcing the shot or forcing some action. She just, went out and took her time and found the best shot. So I want to give her a shout out there, but very explosive guard and has a really good game.
Definitely. Is it still coming through blurry on my end? Am I blurry?
No, you're good now. I know it did it for a little bit. So
I bet.
Yeah.
We'll get ready to look at Kyla Canty of River Ridge. I'm saying I talked to her. Was a possibility we might be able to get her on next week. Was another MVP, MVP honoree. You know what I'm saying, this game right here. But she got nothing. Very nice game. I called her a playmaking sharpshooter, playmaking shooter, as we saw right there. Was that off the glass? Nice finish, high off the glass. I love the high off the glass layups. That's her arts. Yes, she did. She did cut out, hit it out the bank. You know what I'm saying? Shooter's touch. You know what I'm saying? No, she's in there on that gun. Another nice left-handed floater. I think this was the left hand I was talking about. From the coming off the screen. Gotta love the energy, man. Definitely can see the leadership qualities, definitely being a 2026 guard. You know what I mean? Just that's what you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Coming off the screens, knocking down jumpers, passing the ball, head up. Leader, man. I like it. I'm interested. Definitely very intrigued about our conversation next week. Go ahead, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. River Ridge is a problem. Like they lost last year to Maris and Kate Harper, and she did her thing. Much love to her, crossing the 2,000 threshold. Bro, they got 5 girls that have over 10 points scored this year that are averaging more than 10 points. They got Sophia Pearl, Kayla or Finley Parker, Kayla Cleveland, and Michaela Roberson. Like, bro, and now you add her, Kayla Kinney too. Like, yo, good luck. You know what I'm saying? That team gonna be dangerous, bro, because they got girls that's unselfish. Sophia Pearl can obviously shoot. Finley Parker's a problem in the inside. She's only a sophomore. She can stretch good inside out game for her. I mean, yo, they gonna be potent, man. Now you add this to the fray as well. Nice lefty finish in obviously the first clip, smooth looking jumper. And like I said, it's crazy. She's the 5th leading scorer, right? 5th leading scorer, and that's no disrespect to her. That's not even saying she's not great. That's just how well-rounded of a group this is, man. So River Ridge is another team like people should go out and try to watch. Like you talk about high-level hoops. We talked about it with St. Francis, Hebron Christian, Josie. Give them a shout out as well for what they were able to accomplish too so far this year. But that's another team, high-level basketball, man. You got to go see them play.
Most definitely. I believe McKinley, she plays for South Elite Stars. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the flagship AU team out of Georgia. But yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Not downplaying the boys basketball game because I'm really going to the NBA right now. But we see a lot of threes being taken in the NBA, maybe a little bit in college. Not really so much in college, but the girls' game, real fundamental. Everybody's taking it in mid-range, get to their spots. Bless you, brother.
Thank you, Sean.
That's definitely something to be noted. You know what I mean? It's the variation of shots, and I like that. But I'm not gonna say I don't like the 3-point shots, but I get it. I get it, especially when they're making at least 45% of them. But
Megan, I got you, bro. I'm gonna say what you don't want to say. The game is better. The girls' game is better than the boys' game right now.
I can't say that. Okay.
That's not in all facets. I'm not saying that in all facets. I'm saying like when we look at maybe girls, like maybe I don't want to say college basketball, but we look at like maybe like girls hoops, as far as the prep level, you can make that argument. You know what I'm saying? The game is a little bit better. It's a little bit more fine-tuned. You know what I'm saying? That's not saying that they're more skilled than the boys. It's not what I'm trying to say, but just the fundamental aspect, how exciting the ball is, how much they care, how much they want to be great. To a degree, like sometimes you see the boys a little entitled.
For sure. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. I can concur to that, brother.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's going to stay that way, Bacon. I'm just saying over the last little bit stretch, like maybe like the last 3 to 4 seasons, maybe we've been seeing that. Like the girls' game is a little bit more enticing. And we've seen obviously the gravitational pull that Caitlin Clark had over the sport. Not just her, but several others that have stepped up big. Paige Buchers, Juju Watkins. It's not getting the same kind of gravitational pull like before. But when we look at it, like very exciting. Now, granted, college basketball for the boys is getting more exciting because you got primetime prospects balling and doing what they're supposed to do with the Cooper Flags, the Dylan Harpers, the Ace Baileys, which we'll talk about more later. But I'm just saying, if we go and look at the last maybe 3 to 4 years, to a degree, you could say the girls' game has been a little bit more exciting, and that's because they're doing the fundamentals, doing everything right.
I agree. We'll see. I've been on record saying, man, I think the girls' game is changing drastically, better than we've seen it in a while. And interesting point about what you brought about Caitlin Clark. You know, so her game just being dynamic. You got what's his name? Aaliyah Chavez. Yep. Same similar type of game. So when she gets in college basketball, and when she gets, it could be year 1, year 2, and she starts setting the girls' college basketball game on fire. If we don't see that type of same draw, I'm gonna raise some red flags because you know what I'm saying that's what we gravitated to, and I'm sure it will. But that's all I'm gonna say. Moving on, we talked about Kyla. We're gonna talk about a freshman, our freshman sensation from Marietta. Leah DeWitt, also want to definitely name drop Mackenzie Everett. I believe she's a 2028 as well. But let's pull up Leah, freshman, also won the MVP honors at the She Got Game Classic with 28 points. 28 points as a freshman, 5 rebounds, and 4 steals versus a team out here in Fayette County, Stars Mill. So let me pause this. This is not her game highlights, but these are some damn good highlights. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to let the people see. Let the people see the product. All right. Let me know when I'm ready, G. Now, and I'll start the movie. All right, bet. See, getting to the spots, I like to see a little mid-range game. You know what I'm saying? A little what's his name for Chicago? Not Chicago. Getting in the mix for the offensive glass. Smooth 1-2. Little runner there. I like that. Already seeing the leadership qualities from the freshman. I like that. Little post game here. Kobe, water. Definitely a 3-level score. You know, so she was born to play this game, man. You don't catch too many freshmen doing it like this. But Marietta is they are a school known to have elite athletes. I like that. Oh, and she went to the corner. She went to the short corner. That's some Paul George stuff right there. We got to back that up. Low dribble. Thought she was gonna hit the pull up there. That's nice. We'll do one more. We'll talk about it. What a perfect way to end it off, my friend. With the passing, you know what I'm saying. You just light up when you see good basketball. That pass was nice. You know what I'm saying. Obviously, really another. I would say a 3-level point. 3-level point. You know what I'm saying. She shoot that thing from deep. Got a nice little hesitation dribble pull up. Got a little runner there. You know what I'm saying. I would like to see that floater. You know what I'm saying. That floater be there more consistently. That runner could turn into a floater, less effort, and might put an extra 3 to 5 points on her average. But just, you know what I'm saying, blown away, man. Blown away.
Yeah, nah, she to be that young, her game is very, very impressive. It looks very polished to be that young, and that's scary. You know what I'm saying? Because she got so many ways she can still continue to grow and add to her game. But just seems like the game's moving slow for her. That's not saying she's moving slow, but you can just tell already at another tier early on. Reminds me a little bit of Kate Harprin as far as how she makes the game look easy. You know what I'm saying? I can see that for her as well. And just, you know, affecting the game without always having to score, right? The passing, right? The rebounding, to being able to get out of transition, to be able to spark from 3, to be able to get to the mid-range, right? Set up easy chances, collapse the defense, right? She's doing a little bit of everything at that young of an age. So some impressive tape, man, and a bright future for her.
Definitely, brother. And like I said, definitely want to shout her. I already said it, but Mackenzie Everett is also elite too on that Marietta team. Marietta's going to be nice as they transition into playoff basketball. But we're going to talk college basketball for the boys. Last night, Kentucky fell to Georgia on the road. Pretty much came down to rebound the ball. People they're up in arms about the fouls. You know what I'm saying? But you can't, you know what I'm saying? The fans can blame the officials, but you can't be a coach or a player blaming the refs. You know, I understand the young players on the team, but it ultimately came down to rebounding the basketball. And then, as Coach Mark Pope said, just we got out of character in that second half. We started to play like Georgia, but this Kentucky team will be fine, in my opinion. They're built for this. They're Final Four worthy team. Georgia, this is their first quad 1 win. So I like to see Georgia on the uptrend, but you know, this just happens in the ebbs and flows of college basketball, brother. I see you smiling.
No, I agree with you. I mean, you're 100% right. This happens in the ebbs and flows. I think it was a team that picked up a big win. Like we've seen Florida blank Tennessee. We'll talk about that. I'm not going to reveal that, but we'll talk about that here in a second. But it happens on a nightly basis. You're not going to always have your 100% game every single night. You know what I'm saying? But it's what I've been saying about Georgia. I thought that they should have been ranked. I think this is going to help them. And it is a night-to-night thing. But if you can go and beat a pretty good Kentucky team, you feel good. And that's a resume-building win. Like you said, a quad 1 win. So when we look at Georgia's schedule, okay, you've beaten those teams, whatever. But when you start adding, and that's all I want to see with Georgia, when we start adding the Kentuckys and maybe a Florida, maybe a Tennessee, you know what I'm saying, maybe a Oklahoma, a Texas A&M, right? then you're like, okay, I got the resume. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else to really talk about. So, I mean, great game. Plus 9 on the boards. Led them 47-34 at the half. Had 3 scores in double figures. AC Newell led all Georgia scores with 17 points. Just got to be, I think they're one of those better teams, bro. I think they're for real. I think they're deep. I think they're loaded. And I think they can make some noise. I'm not saying they're going to make a Final Four, but they could get easily to a Sweet 16 and an Elite 8. Like, they got the talent in order to do that and make some noise in the tournament. So, big win for them against a really good Kentucky team.
Nah, for sure. And some Real is real. Yeah. He is that boy, man. I'm telling you, brother. You got to get out of the way when that boy dunking the basketball. But we're going to transition in the Tennessee versus Florida. This is a lopsided loss for the number 1 rated team. We said in our podcast earlier episodes. Are they deserving of that number 1 spot? Likely not. But, I mean, Are they worthy of it? No. But are they the best for that position? Yes, because at the time they were undefeated. But 15 points in the first half. That's not how you want to start the ball game. That's only about 7 made buckets to Florida, who made about 15 to 16, 34 points. So they kind of obviously they're gonna relax more, 28 points in the second half, but just wasn't enough for a Florida team who scored 39 points to win it all. Again, winning 73-43. You know what I mean? Let me check out the rebounding stats, and I'll throw it to you now. So I don't want to take all the sizzle out of the Sizzle News podcast, but that's probably lame. But they lost on the rebounding metrics. 12. Okay, not just see no total. 56 rebounds for Florida to 37 for the Tennessee Volunteers. That's just not gonna cut it, and that's probably the key why they only put up 15 points in the first half.
No, 100%. A huge win for Florida. I'm at home beating a really good Tennessee team. First loss by AP, number 1 overall team since 1968 by 25 plus points. But yeah, like I said, they beat them on the boards, and they started out the game on a 12-0 run. You know what I'm saying? So that was crucial, obviously, for Florida being able to do that. And they struggled. They was trying to get to the rim, but the shot selection wasn't great for Tennessee. And it's a building block win for Florida, right? Continue to add to your resume, beating pretty elite teams in the SEC. And now you get another, quad 1 win to the belt. You feel pretty good about that. And if you Tennessee, just things you can learn on. You can't take a night off, especially in the SEC. As you see, it's established itself as one of the best or the best conference in college basketball this year. Over the previous few years, it's been the Big 12. But with the conference realignment, we see in the SEC have a really good year when it comes to that. But just now it's just trying to get better. You know what I'm saying? You need these losses. I'd rather have a loss like this early to find out what my team is made up than have this later in the tournament and get upset. So playing this type of competition only going to help you.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I'm sure Rick Barnes and the Volunteers will definitely rebound, but Florida, they got a good roster over there, man. I'm saying they're ranked in the top 25 for a reason, man. So shout out to Florida and know what they got going on, but I'm sure Rick Barnes and the Volunteers will bounce back. But we want to take a look at Utah State, a team that's going to definitely bust some brackets come March. I believe are they still ranked top 25? Yes, they are. They have no quad ones, no good quads at all, but they are playing good ball. The only loss is to UC San Diego. Oh, they got a quad. What was it? Quad 3, brother? Yeah, quad 3 win against San Diego State. But a team hasn't really been talked about. 2 scores north of 15 or more. A really good team shooting the ball 34% from 3, almost 50% from the field goal. They don't really turn the ball over that much. And they're going to play the passing lanes, averaging 9.9 steals as a team per game. It's a good team they're going to play defense. They're going to shoot the ball. They're going to make the right plays. And I'm saying they got some lift, but they don't turn the ball over that much. They pass the ball, get everybody in rhythm, and those are the scary teams going down the stretch. Let me just go back to their schedule real quick and see if they got any big games coming up, or is it pretty much just West Coast teams? So they're going to play San Diego State again in February, but for the most part, It's just those West Coast teams. No disrespect to those West Coast teams in the conference of the Mountain West, but they're just not. They're just not that like I said, that name brand conference when it comes to basketball. But they do have those teams every year, every so often, that could come out and blow your top off and bring eyelids off come March.
No, 100%. I mean, their run has been impressive. I know most people can come from them and say, well, they haven't really played nobody. But like you said, that quad 3 win against San Diego State faced a really good San Jose team, San Jose State team this past week. They gave them a battle. You know what I'm saying? I had to come down to the stretch in this one. Obviously, Mason Fosby, he led Utah State with 17 points and 7 boards and 4 assists in that one. This game was tied 69-69 with 6 minutes to go before they started to kind of like pull away in that one. So a tough game. They scored a lot of points. Going to have to work on some things defensively. But I think they had 3 players in double figures for obviously San Jose State, man. And now they have 5 consecutive victories, man. So a good win for them against San Jose State and got tested really good.
Definitely. Looks like let's see. Their high points are kind of diverse. You got not sure how to say this young man. Garcia, Martinez, Falsev. I got a lot of these names I'm not too familiar. But I'm saying all that to say they got their high point scores game per game. It's always interchangeable what this alludes to. You know what I'm saying? They're willing to share the basketball, man. So shout out to Utah State, man. Definitely keep this in mind. We're filling out that bracket in March. They're probably going to come in as probably a 12 seed, something like that, maybe a 9. But you know what I'm saying? Definitely keep this team in mind. But we're going to move on and check out the John Wooden top 25 list. There's some local young men on that list. You got Ace Bailey on there. Get ready to share my screen right now. Johnny Broom. Ace Bailey, Johnny Broom, Walter Clayton Jr. from Florida, RJ Davis, see out there in North Carolina, Hunter Dickinson, who we'll talk. I didn't have it on the list, but we'll talk about that game later against Arizona State. Eric Dixon, Jeremiah Fears, one of the best scorers in all of college basketball as a freshman. Cooper Flagg, rightfully so. Keyshawn Gilbert, Iowa State. PJ Haggerty out of Memphis, very good player. Dylan Harper, some saying he might be top 2 in the NBA draft. I don't know. We got to see. Josh Hubbard, Caspers, Trey Johnson out of Texas. Big game coming up this weekend. Cam Jones, Ryan from Creighton, Alex from UConn, Chaz Lanier from Tennessee, Ryan Nembhard from Gonzaga. That is the brother to his brother playing for the Knicks. Not the Knicks, the Pacers. Derek Queen out of Maryland, Maxine Renard out of Stanford, Mark Sears, Braden Smith, Wade Taylor the 4th, and to round it off, Takai Ziegler out of Tennessee. So I mean, no surprise here, man, but definitely want to showcase these guys. Anybody outside of the home guys that we already know, like Ace Bailey, and I throw Dylan Harper in there, just to the relation. Who on this list are you most intrigued by?
I like Jeremiah Fears. I think he's very impressive in what he's been able to do out there in Oklahoma. Very young, but doesn't play young. Plays like an experienced player out there. He's been, very impressive this year. Trey Johnson is another one. I know Texas struggled in a game recently that they had the other night against a really good, I think it was Auburn team that they faced. They got blown out by, but he's had an impressive freshman season and what he's been able to do. He looks very comfortable out there as well. Obviously, Johnny Broom, I think he's probably the number one guy right now. Maybe Cooper Flagg's right behind him. But I think he's the best college basketball player right now, averaging 18.6 points per game, 11.1 rebounds, and 2.7 blocks. And then Cooper Flagg just being ready. The crazy part about Cooper is he's supposed to be a senior right now.
Yes.
And he's playing at a high-end level on both sides of the court. And that poster dunk, man, I mean, that was something spectacular. Seeing it all over the airwaves when I was watching nothing but net on the ACC network, man. And he's doing a phenomenal job so far this year, man. He's getting better and better. And I can see why he was probably going to be that number 1 overall pick when it comes, June time and to make that selection, man. I mean, he's been phenomenal all year long, man. But he's been spectacular. Cam Jones is another one, an underrated star at Marquette, who likely will be a tournament team. He's been, established himself as one of the best players, I think, in the country as well. So those would be some that I've liked so far.
For sure. Those definitely, I mean, those are the hot ones for sure. I want to definitely shout out Derek Queen, who was the original when the first list came out was 2025. He was the #1 player, playing from Maryland. Just a big man who can do a lot of things efficiently. The leading scorer for the Maryland Terps, averaging 16 points, playing 26 minutes per game right now as a freshman. 2 assists, 8 rebounds, averaging a block and a steal a game. And shoots the free throw well for a big man, shooting 75%, 56% from the field. It's not a shooter from deep. It hasn't translated on shooting 11% from behind the arc. But, you know what I'm saying, he's definitely an intriguing prospect for me. But that'll conclude that little segment. We definitely want to keep track of the job winning guys, the top 25ers. You know what I'm saying, that's definitely a prestigious award in all of college basketball. Now we're going to talk Michael Brown's commitment to Louisville. Have you been keeping tabs on this, brother? If so, the floor is yours.
Yes, I have. He signed with them. Actually, this was kind of under wraps a little bit. He signed with them in the early signing period in November. But they kept it real low key. Obviously, had a long list of offers: Alabama, Indiana, and Ole Miss. Louisville just made a lot of sense. He said, per quote via ESPN, the deciding factors were the energy of the program, the family environment, and the fact that Coach Kelsey is so loyal. He brought his whole staff and walk-ons with him to Louisville, which demonstrated his honor and loyalty. Michael Brown Sr. told ESPN, "We are a very tight-knit family and value his commitments to bringing those along who he could have very easily left behind." So yeah, man. I mean, I believe he's playing where he's played in the OTE, man. And obviously was a phenomenal scorer there. I mean, just high-level IQ basketball player, 6'3" guard that can not only score but set up his teammates as well, man. And obviously, it's played, with some high-level competition. I think he played a little bit in the Peace Jam, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a guy that got a lot of good experience, man. And as Louisville tries to turn that chapter, we know where Rick Pitino meant to that program years ago and bringing them to the heights and everything. But curious to see how they continue to be kind of one of those perennial programs in ACC.
Nah, no doubt, brother. An elite and a very elite scorer, man, who can do, like I say, set it up 3-level sharp, playmaking 3-level sharp to me. Crafty. So he's currently the only player that has committed to this Louisville squad. I'm on 247 right now. Scout looks Nate Ahmet out of Virginia. Braden Burries, 2 5-stars there. And Ty Price out of Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to he was on Swiss Cultures, the youngest podcast. I can't remember what he said, but he what I do remember what he said is that he likes Virginia, not talking about the school, but just as a state. He's very homebody. So you know what I'm saying, he definitely said he wants to put on for the state. I think he said that alluded to his reason for staying home and playing high school ball in the state of Virginia. Obviously, being a high recruit, he could have went anywhere to play basketball. He could have went to Prolific Prep. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere, Montbird, I'm sure. But he was very, very steadfast about his opinion of staying home in Virginia. We'll see if that plays a decision in his college decision. But he's on the hot list for Louisville. Next up, Bryce James, you know what I'm saying? One of the James kids has committed to Arizona. Did not see this coming. Do you have any intel on this, my friend?
No, I do not. This is kind of an underrated recruitment. I know he got an offer a little while ago, you know what I'm saying, from them. Obviously, he'll offer some Ohio State and this Kinsey. I'm probably saying that name wrong. Forgive me if I am. But obviously, I mean, I think it's a good fit. Arizona, we know what they've produced in years past, at their school. When we think about Arizona, they've been predominantly a really good basketball program. So I think it's going to be just important his development. I hope he doesn't rush the decision to go to the league, but actually gets developed and takes his time with it, because he has the, everything he needs to do in order to kind of be, great on the NBA level, but it's going to take time. You know what I'm saying? And I hope he lets the coaching and everything develop him before he makes a decision. Maybe spend 1 to 2 years in college, you know what I'm saying? And continue to develop and get better and better and become that kind of perennial, kind of become that perennial, you know what I'm saying, college basketball player. I think he could do that potentially, with the right time. So I just wouldn't rush it. Has a bright future ahead of him. I just want to see what steps he continues to take forward.
I agree. With the James kids, you probably don't know exactly what's going to happen, but you do know that they got that gene. You know what I'm saying? We see Bronny turning it on. It's like I wish I would have got to see him play at the Peach. It's always a lot of mixed opinions about the James kids. Like, did you go to that game? Or you said it was too crowded. But I was asking a lot of people. It's like, man, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got it. He ain't this, he ain't that. But you see other clips. You see the promise. So obviously, you know what I'm saying, he's a James kid. He's gonna have that hype, and the eyes are gonna be glued on him. I think, you know what I'm saying, their father has them trained for the big moment. But like you said, under wraps, 2 commitments here that was very under wraps, but 2 very intriguing prospects, and we're gonna definitely wish them the best. And as they develop.
100%.
All right. Before we segue out of this and talk about Georgia Tech, we're going to talk about the Arizona State game versus Kansas. Very good game, man. And I'll say, man, Kansas, to me, they don't have it yet. They, in terms of playing as a fist, you know what I'm saying, they're very, very good defensively. I think that's what got them over the hump last night. But I was watching the game, like, man, they're not fluid. I've seen a lot of turnovers. I've seen a lot of one-on-one ball, and I don't think they're going to win the Natty this year. But they're a good team, though. Yeah,
it's like they're good, but it's like they could be better than what they are. They could be great. It's not as crisp as you would think from a top team in the country. And maybe Coach Bill Self can figure that out. Obviously, has Hunter Dickinson, who's All-American, one of the top basketball players, but it's just like they struggle sometimes, and they struggle in spells. Sometimes they're not scoring, or they turn over the ball just carelessly. Got a lot of things to figure out. But hopefully, going up against some top competition in Big 12 can help them out and kind of iron out some kinks there. But yeah, like you said, if they want to win it all, they're definitely going to have to shore up some things.
I agree, brother, for sure. So Georgia Tech knew before we're going to talk about the game a little bit. I believe they got the dub over Virginia Tech, but Haran Zerno, 22-year-old, coming from overseas. He visited Indiana this Tuesday. I haven't heard anything about it. Another prospect who kind of keep their things very tight camp for good reason. I don't think you don't want to have all your business out there. You know what I'm saying? You want to kind of move inconspicuously in the recruiting world. I think it's best. Never let your left hand do what your right hand do it. You know what I mean? So, but very intriguing prospect, as we said on this podcast weeks in advance, weeks before. Elite shooter of the basketball. He can move off screens. Very high IQ. Any team who gets this young man, you know what I'm saying, is definitely going to benefit very much. Indiana's on the list. Georgia Tech, obviously. Washington, and I believe it was a couple others, but very intriguing prospect. He'll be in Tech very soon. Like I said, they keep things under wraps, but Tech is definitely on they're on the track. You know what I'm saying? Visits coming up.
Yeah. He's my bad. He's like a high level scorer. I don't think he's the same stature as a Lance Terry, but he could kind of probably fulfill that role, like what we're seeing with Georgia Tech basketball this year. Yeah. Just a guy that's coming in, giving you minutes, being effective on both ends of the floor, right? Being able to space the floor with his elite shooting ability, and also be kind of a playmaker, three-point specialist, so kind of like a playmaking 3-level sharp, something like that. He could potentially be that averaging 20 points per game, 56% from the field, 48% from 3-point range, kind of in that kind of a role if he were to come to Georgia Tech. And I think that's what Coach Stoudemire is trying to do. I know they hit some lows here, and they struggled a little bit offensively in some regards if it's not really Lance Terry, but that's probably a guy that they could, potentially put out there. Probably have to continue to work on his defense and things like that, but could be a great sharpshooter for them and come in and get the concepts and the skills down quickly.
Dang. No, you're right. Definitely. I think that Lance Terry, that was a great analogy, but I really like that. Minus the athleticism. I'm saying he's not jumped on the gym like Lance, but he can definitely fill it up for sure. But so breaking news to some. Georgia Tech, the girls went down in a double overtime loss. They lost 105-95. to the Hokies. Man, let's break it down. I'm going to share my screen here. We're going to talk about the box score. Again, though, as I said, for talking about Kentucky and Tennessee for that point, this just the ebb and flows of college basketball. You know, there's only a few schools, which is why there's only a handful of schools that have only went undefeated during the whole course of the season, heading on to the postseason. It's just a tough thing to do. You're gonna have nights where the other team is putting up 105 points and is shooting the cover off the basketball. Virginia Tech shot 82% from the free throw line. That's very key. 27% for Georgia Tech tonight from beyond the arc. Very uncharacteristic. They're usually a better team from deep. 69% from the free throw line. That's all I need to see right there. We got to hit those free throws down the stretch. But you know what I mean? I'm sure they'll bounce back, but definitely was not expecting this. I think they were up the last time I looked. I'm like, oh, they got this game in the bag. You know what I'm saying? Me and Naj kind of talk about this. But let's look at the Kara Dunn, 33 points, 8 for 10 from the free throw line, 3 for 8 from 3. Tony Morgan, 11 for 20, man. Efficient scoring night for those two. Danny only played 6 minutes. We got to figure out why. Did she get hurt? 6 minutes, 1 for 4, 2 points. That's tough. That's very tough. Yeah, brother, what you got?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, not a traditional box score. I've been watching Georgia Tech girls basketball from afar, and you look at the stat line. Kara Dunn, 33 points. Tony Morgan, 28 points. That was it, right? No other score hit double figures in this one. Chastity Wright obviously had 8. So when we seen and looked at box scores for Georgia Tech, they usually have a whole plethora of scoring. It's like 5-6 different girls hitting double figures per game. When you seeing that, but they struggle from 3, right? And they struggle to defend the 3. 12 for 27, 44%, which is kind of what you want if you're a 3-point shooting team for Virginia Tech. So they shot the lights out with the ball against Georgia Tech, and they were 6 for 22, 27.3% in that one. And then they didn't hit a lot of their free throws, 18 for 26. That's barely 69.2%. So struggled there. Was really good on the glass, +5. But just weren't able to hit enough threes, and I think that made kind of the difference in the game. You know what I'm saying, in my humble opinion. And the turnovers were big in this one. 15-10 advantage for Virginia Tech. They were or Georgia Tech was +5 on turnovers. So got to get that down. And they forced 10 steals in this one for Virginia Tech. So they was able to, kind of poke the ball loose, get easy buckets towards the rim, and make a difference.
100%. Yeah, that's definitely the difference maker. But like I said, this ebbs and flows. I know Coach Nella have these young ladies ready to go next game. Just a little monkey wrench in the plan. We'll pull up who they got next. Next, they have Louisville. They got Louisville. Going to Louisville. You know what I'm saying? A little tune-up before they get that quad 1 test against Notre Dame. That's going to be a big one. Can they stop handing her dog? Can they slow down that scoring juggernaut of Notre Dame on the road in a very vicious environment? Rockers, I don't want to say vicious, very Rockers environment. After that, they'll go to Clemson. Clemson play solid ball. Virginia, you know what I'm saying? A couple more tests before they play the Dukies at the house. That's going to be a very good test again. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, so just a monkey wrench in the plan. A couple other tests, you know what I'm saying, to kind of get them back. And I don't know. We'll see if they can beat Notre Dame. If they can beat Notre Dame, that'll say a lot. That's going to be tough. But I think right now with the top 15, I can see them in the year, or I think top 13, excuse me. I can see them in the year around 13, 10, if things go according to plan. Got NC State, who's ranked in the top 25. So, just to learn a moment.
Oh, yeah, learn in the moment. Like I said, you want to get these things out of the way early, man. Just go ahead and get your loss, learn from it, continue to build on what you want to do, and be a dangerous team come postseason.
100%. Very well said, brother. We'll get the top 25 per Talia Goodman. We'll look at this, even though we know it's going to change with the recent loss to Tech for sure. But we'll kind of grade the whole grand scheme of things. number one, we got UCLA. UCLA, obviously, you know what I'm saying, the real number one to me. It just well complete. Got a big man. That's going to throw everybody off. South Carolina, very talented. You know what I'm saying? Really a different team for Coach Staley this year. Doesn't really have that. Well, she got some 6'5"ers, but they're not as dominant as, you know what I'm saying, Camila Cardoso was last year, Leah Boston, and so on and so forth. But you know what I'm saying, they got Tessa Johnson, Raven Johnson, and so many others that can shoot the ball, some wings that can score at a different level. So they're really gonna have to move and transition, execute in the half court at a high level. But they're a great defensive team, so we know defense is gonna carry you a long way. Notre Dame, we already talked about Hannah Hidalgo, very elite, very tough team to stop from scoring, and they're gonna play defense, make all the right passes. Texas, a similar team like UCLA. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna grind you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna feed the post players. You know, so they're gonna beat you up, make you rebound, make you defend them in the half set, and can also you know what I'm saying, run in transition. But in order to beat Texas, you really got to, you know what I'm saying, run them as much as you can. Close out. You know what I'm saying, and try to you know what I'm saying, steal some rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Number 5 at USC. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows about Juju Watkins and the other young lady out there. Just elite, man. Definitely one of those teams that's really gonna get that you're really gonna get their bang for the buck once you see them in high intense matchups. Even when they play other quad one teams as the season winds down, when they get into conference play, when they play teams like UCLA. Wait. Are they still in the same conference as UCLA?
Who?
USC.
Yeah. They're both in the Big Ten.
All right, both in the Big Ten. So when they get in conference play, playing UCLA, TCU, Haley Van Lith, you know what I'm saying, very good team. Maryland, not too well versed on, but Maryland keeps a good women's basketball program. LSU, a very good team that gets overlooked in their own right. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Well coached. You know what I'm saying? A coach has 4 national championships under her belt. You know what I'm saying? They just honored her the other day. But I don't want to I don't want to say everything. So, you know what I'm saying? If you want to elaborate over those teams, we'll continue to go forward, brother. I'm going to throw it to you.
Yes, sir, brother. So when you look at it, obviously South Carolina, you brought up a great point. Notre Dame, I think, has one of their better teams in recent years. Obviously, he's been a struggle a little bit. If you look outside, I think Brittany Griner played for Notre Dame, right? Am I tripping on that?
She played for Baylor, but you're probably thinking about I can't remember her name right now. She's a veteran in the W though.
Skylar, right?
Skylar Diggins, yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I know it's somebody. All right, I messed that up. But Skylar Diggins hasn't really been as good or lead of a team since then, but good to see them back up top. LSU actually just beat Tennessee 89-87. Anissa Amoro continues to do her thing. She dropped like 23 points in that win tonight against Tennessee. Obviously, Flau'jae had 20, but liking to see what they've been able to do. They were up +8 on the boards in that win. But that's another quality win for them. UConn can never sneeze at Paige Booker's dealing with a little bit of an injury, but she's expected to kind of come back. So with Coach Auriemma, you can never kind of sneeze at them, but that's why you got to appreciate dominance. And when they were dominant for so long in that sport, you know what I'm saying? And now they kind of like came down just a little bit, still recruiting at a high-end level, but everybody's kind of came up to that level of what UConn is doing. But they're still a team that you can never sleep at. Obviously, Tech will fall down after that loss, to unranked Virginia Tech. We'll see how low they're going to fall. North Carolina's a good team, underrated but very good team. Georgia Tech obviously beat them, so that was a good victory for them to continue to add to their belt. So that was another impressive win for them. Alabama's another team I was looking up, and they got a pretty good backcourt, very underrated, share the basketball, good paint presence as well. So those are some teams that kind of caught my eye, and Texas is one more. Talked about her, Brianna Preston, getting a little bit of burn early on as a freshman. They have a well-rounded group as well. They're going to be one to continue to watch.
100%. Now, I'll shed some light on Tennessee. Tennessee, like I said, man, they're that team that's going to be scary. They had a tough loss against Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma this past weekend. They got a coach that's very, very analytic, but she also preaches the philosophy of being in shape, running and pressing. But she lives and dies by that 3, probably a little too much for my liking. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to take that mid-range, and sometimes you don't need to jack the shots early in the shot clock, which led to their demise. I feel like they could have they could have had a better look against Oklahoma at the end of that game. But Tennessee is a team to definitely keep an eye on. I think losing by 2 or 3 to a top 10 team that was unranked at the beginning of the year. So shout out to Tennessee. But ladies and gentlemen, that'll round out the Just Sizzling News Basketball Podcast. We're gonna give y'all some games, so don't go nowhere. Like I said, comment, like, you know what I'm saying? Definitely follow us on all our platforms, brother. But from today's discussion, man, what stood out to you the most today, man?
Yeah, I think it was great. Just being able to see some of the young talents we always talk about, obviously with the girls basketball, and continue to see their game. I like the She Got Game Classic and how it was a lot of college coaches out there seeing these young girls hoop at a high end level. I thought that was pretty cool to see. And be able to be put on notice with several great hoopers here in the state of Georgia. I really enjoyed that, and just the upsets, like you said, the upsets when it comes to college basketball. You don't know any given night who's going to win. And that makes the sport so much fun because there's so much parity. Anybody can go down, whether that's girl or boys basketball, as we've seen today with Georgia Tech girls going down, and obviously recently with Tennessee going down to Florida.
That's it. I agree, brother. Yeah, she got Game Classic was definitely box office, definitely one I enjoyed. You know what I'm saying? It's a game for y'all before we get out of here, man. I'm saying stay inside tomorrow, stay warm, man, if you can, because it's gonna get crazy out there. But now just keep going on your process. It's a new year, you know what I'm saying? If you're in the gym, don't be one of those people who get done the day before, the day after Valentine's Day. I'm not going back to the gym. Stay on your purpose, stay on your grind, and stay on those resolutions. Some people don't do them. I'm still young enough. I believe in them. I'm still doing them. But that's my 2 cents for you.
Yeah, I don't got much, man. Anybody out there grinding is hard out here. You'll see people that you I don't want to say trust, but people that you expect to help you, or trying to see how I can word this. Sometimes it's not always what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? I'll put it like that. Sometimes it's not always what it looks like. Take everything with a grain of salt. And know that it's difficult. Anything you do to make your name, and just know your worth. I think that's the big thing I want to leave you guys with. Know your worth, and anything you start in, whether that's if you're doing the AI stuff, if you're doing software engineering, whatever it is, if you first year in, second, like, people are going to overlook you. Like, it's unfortunate, but that's just the reality of it. It made me think back to my working career early on with Chick-fil-A, and then the bank, and then obviously Apple. You're going to have to grind your way up and make a name for yourself. So that's just what it is in any industry you go into, whether you're an entrepreneur or not. Regardless, leverage your relationships, leverage people you meet in the industry. Eventually, words are going to be said about you. Rep does matter. I'm not saying don't care about it. You should care about it to a degree. Don't let it affect you, but make sure it is a good rep where you can, land something that you potentially want to land, or just an opportunity to be out there and affect lives. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that leverage your relationships, your partnerships, whatever that may be. You never know when the opportunity might come, and just know your worth.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You do those things, and you'll be all right. And most importantly, keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble, stay out of the eye smart if you can. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, we love y'all. We'll see y'all next Thursday. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. We'll talk football on Tuesday. It's very intriguing, very intellectual, and very high level. So definitely do that for us. We do this for y'all, man. But like I said, we finna get out of here. Much love. And as always, it's Just Sizzling News. Peace and love.
Peace.